Angela Sadat here with the Angela Sadat Group of Keller Williams Premier Realty in the Twin Cities of Minnesota. And so today for our seller summary, we're actually going to talk about price reductions versus the wait and see approach. And so a lot of times you hear, oh, my realtor told me I need a price reduction. That is kind of not something that sellers necessarily want to hear when they are in the process of selling their home. However, what we found that in many pockets of our market, homes are selling very quickly. Now, if we see that the homes around you are selling very quickly and yet you're not selling very quickly, we definitely have to ask a few questions, right? And so that's where that analysis comes in. Should we make a price adjustment at that time? Usually we wait about 7 to 14 days before we make that determination. However, we've had it happen where the market rejected a price and we had to do a price reduction right away. So sometimes that will happen. Now, with our low inventory currently, we don't have that quite as often, and yet overpricing a home can certainly negate the marketing efforts that your realtor is trying to do for you. So if your marketing looks great, your home looks great, everything is in its place, then sometimes the price adjustment is the only option for us to go to at that point. Now, there's another approach called the wait and see. Now, this can, a lot of realtors would say, oh my goodness, never do that. And yet there are some homes that will just take longer to sell. A lot of times in our luxury market, we see that homes sometimes take a little bit longer to find that appropriate buyer. And the buyers in our luxury market sometimes take their time to actually decide on a home to buy. So sometimes that can happen. Another thing that could happen is if you have a very unique floor plan that really needs a lot of exposure, sometimes we have to do extra marketing efforts in order to get that in front of the right people. So perhaps a slight wait and see approach is necessary in some of those cases. So that's definitely an analysis that we do throughout the course of a listing. We listen to feedback, we get other realtors' opinions and things like that so that we can make sure that we're exposing the home right and make sure that we're not just waiting and seeing, but absolutely being proactive in that process. So there's a couple different ways that we can analyze that, and we discuss that with you at your listing appointment as well as throughout the listing process. If we find your home isn't selling right away, we've got to diagnose why. So those are just a couple of ideas, and obviously in your specific situation, we're going to customize the process to your specific situation. So more to come next month. Thanks for joining us today.